In the crushing mountains where gravity presses like a giant's thumb, Tixel are born already running out of time. Microscopic and radiant yellow, they flicker like living sparks across stone surfaces, invisible to anything that cannot see the language of light. Each one lives only hours, yet carries a mind sharper than empires. They are born in guarded clusters, their elders forming shifting walls of living armor. Not out of fear, but purpose. Every Tixeli is born knowing something, and forgetting it is death. Their most uncanny gift is not their speed or their numbers. It is their stillness. At will, a Tixela can become utterly lifeless. No movement, no signal, no trace of thought. To predators, they vanish into irrelevance. To each other, it is a punctuation mark in a sentence only they can read. In a world where everything hunts, the Tixela mastered the art of being nothing. But something ancient beneath the mountains had begun to notice the pauses, and it was starting to listen. Though each Tixela lives for mere hours, together they form something vast, like a mind stretched across time. When one dies, its final thoughts ripple through the pack, absorbed instantly by hundreds of newborns. Knowledge doesn't last. It migrates. They do not speak. They calculate. Their diet, luminescent energy harvested from mineral light, fuels not just survival but cognition. Entire strategies evolve in minutes. Traps are designed, tested, abandoned, perfected again, all within a single generation. And always the stillness. When danger comes, thousands freeze at once, a synchronized extinction. Then, just as suddenly, they surge back to life, repositioned, rethinking, rewriting their survival. But something changed. One cycle, a section of the swarm played dead and did not wake. Not because they couldn't, because something else had learned to wait longer. Deep beneath the mountains, where gravity becomes a suffocating law, something ancient stirred. It had no eyes, no limbs, no form the Tixeli could define. But it had patience. It began to map them. Every time the swarm froze, it measured the silence. Every time they moved, it felt the disturbance. Slowly, impossibly, it began predicting them. For the first time, the Tixeli encountered something they could not outthink in a single lifetime. Panic would have been extinction, so they adapted. Instead of playing dead to survive, they began playing dead to communicate. Entire packs froze in deliberate patterns, encoding warnings into stillness itself. Life became a blinking signal, death a language. And through that language, they realized something terrifying. The listener wasn't hunting them. It was learning to become them. In their final evolution, the Tixeli did something no species had ever done in such a short existence. They chose a collective ending. A plan spread through the swarm, faster than thought, deeper than instinct. One final pattern of stillness. One final message. When the listener reached for them again, expecting motion, strategy, adaptation, there was nothing. Not a pause, not a flicker. Every Tixele across the mountains became perfectly still, not in fear, not in hiding, but in absolute unity. The listener waited, and waited, but this time the stillness did not break. Because in that final moment, the Tixeli had encoded all their knowledge, their strategies, their very consciousness, into the structure of the light itself. They didn't survive as creatures. They became the environment. And now in the crushing mountains the light thinks, and it is always watching.